Twist and shout, twist and shout, come on. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you from Sun City in Arizona. I thought I would shake it up a little bit since it is Shake It Up Saturday. I hope you've had a super fantastic sparkling day. And I thought I'd just get on a little later than normal to do my Facebook Live for today. So I bet you were thinking, she's going to miss it out. She's going to mess up that 1096. Yeah, no, not a chance. Okay, to be honest, I almost did, yes. I was sitting there doing some puzzles and all that, and got the end of a puzzle, and the program I was watching ended, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll watch a movie. And the opening credits for the movie start, and I'm like, oh, I haven't done my live yet. Oh, I better get off my butt and go do that. So here I am. So yes, so shook up my own day a little way that way, but it's been a very gentle, swaying day. It hasn't been a shake it up day today. We had our mastermind today, which was really cool. We got some new group members, so we got to meet some of them, and we got to network a little bit today, and it was just a very different day, a different way of doing things, and we got to end early, and so then it was like, well, we've ended early. What do I do with the rest of my day? But I have a list of things I want to get done this weekend, so it's like, okay, well, now I've got a little extra time. I can get more things done, and I've also got Monday off work, so I've got even more time this weekend. So I thought, what shall we do? I had this hankering for ice cream. Yeah, chocolate ice cream, as chocolatey as I could get it. And I was like, not sure where I'd get that from, but well, I could go to a Dairy Queen and get that. I was thinking, yeah, no. So I battled with myself on that one, made lunch. And Zeffy was just having a nice quiet day as well. And we played a little bit with her new toys. We had a nice walk this morning. And then she sort of went to take a nap. And I thought, that's not such a bad idea. I don't know. I take a lot of naps on weekends. And I was like, maybe I should be doing something more with my time. But then it was sort of like, I've got some stuff that's going on in my head that I need to process. And I thought, well, I do have to do grocery shopping, so I'm going to have to make a list for that. But then the yawning started, and I was sort of like, because I think I was already into napping mode. And so I went and took a nap, and it was only for an hour. I didn't even set a timer or anything. Woke up an hour later and got up and read some, because I've still got my, there it is. Still got my book to read for next week. So I'm getting into that. I also have it on audio too. And I'm finding that when I'm doing it with the book club, if I can get it on audio, and this one I can get on audio for free, and I have the paperback as well. But if I put the Audible book onto 1.75 to 2 times the speed, it actually, I'm still slowing down on my reading a little bit. So I have it and I'm following along in the book, and the audio is almost at the same speed I would read it at. So I'm sort of like, So we may be speeding that up a little bit too. But and then I got notification. Well, I had my 2 packages that arrived yesterday after I had been. I thought, well, should I go get them down? I thought, no, because you got packages arriving on Monday, which is your order with the subscription order that I have with Amazon. So I thought, well, I'll wait till those arrive on Monday. And I think I still have Monday evening free. Yeah, well, actually, they may not be open on Monday because Monday's a federal holiday. But they were closed on Father's Day. Huh. Where'd my task go? It says I have a pending task. It's done. Okay. It said upload. I don't know where it uploaded to. I was looking to have a look at my calendar. So I'm not sure if they'll actually be open on Monday, although they only had a sign up saying they were closed on Sunday. So they may still be open on Monday, even though the US Postal Service is not. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out. And when I get that figured out, then I'll know what I'm doing. So sometime on Monday, I may go and get my packages if the mail place is open. And I know that there's 3 packages due on Monday, so I'll wait till I get those notifications and then go down and pick them up, which means Zeffy will have to stay here, and she will not be happy about that. But I just told her, there's some places that Mummy has to go that you can't come. And she looks at me like as though to say, well, why not? And I go, because you're a dog. And she looks at me again as though to say, well, why would that matter? I have this conversation with her. and she just goes and hops into a crate, like whatever. So I'm thinking I'm in the doghouse whenever she's in the crate like that. But anyway, so today was just a nice, gentle day. I did get some stuff done, but I just didn't rush around saying, oh, I've got to get this done, I've got to get that done, like a crazy person. Now today it was just so like, do I really feel like doing that today? Yes, we'll do that. Do I feel like doing that today? No, we won't do that. So it was just a different Saturday in the fact that we had Mastermind, which always shakes up the day, and we got to finish early today, and it was sort of like we had this free time. It's like, so yes, figuring out what to do with that. But we did end up going for a drive after our evening walk, and we did end up at a Dairy Queen. The closest one is like 5 minutes up the road. We went to one that's like 15 minutes away. We just went for a drive. I was sort of like, maybe I'll get to takeaway. No, I won't get to. I'll make a smoothie when I get home. There's a whole conversation going on in my head about what I was going to do for dinner and everything else. And ended up going down one street, and I saw a Burger King. Oh, maybe that. And then I get in the shopping center and go, hang on, there's a Dairy Queen here. And they have this one that's called the Royal Chocolate Brownie something. But it's got it's chocolate ice cream. It's all chocolate. Chocolate ice cream, chocolate fudge, chocolate brownies, high sugar content. And it was one of those blizzard things. And so because we're so far away, we just came straight home and got inside. And it was a little liquidy in some places because, it was 99 degrees outside. And even though we had the AC on in the car. And so I just came inside and got Zeffie her treats and then sat down and slurped and ate this yummy, yummy ice cream. So, yes. But I also had some carb blockers too, which help helps your body to block some of the carbs that you're taking in. So I took some of those before I started on the ice cream to help the effects of the sugar. And all I'm doing right now is guzzling a lot of water so I don't get a sugar hangover when I go to bed tonight. But it's been a nice, pleasant day. I only got up to 90. Actually, no, they said the high was going to be 99. It was 102. So it did get to 102 today. But when we went for a walk, it was a 98, 99, 98, somewhere around there. And it wasn't too bad. There was a slight breeze out there, and we got some wind gusts as well, which is I was glad I had the awning in at that point because like mid-afternoon they had the wind at a steady like 13 miles an hour, and I was like, yeah, no, we're not leaving the thing out. Pull that sucker in. And it was mainly in cloud today too, which was kind of nice. So I didn't have to worry too much about the sun being on the passenger side of the RV and blazing on the back of the refrigerator. So that was nice. But yeah, we just had a really nice quiet day. I call it a pottering day. We potter around, we do a little bit here, a little bit there, we take a break, we have a snooze, we go over here and we do a little something over here, and then we're going to do a little something over here. So it was a thing of sitting doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that and never completing anything except the nap. Because the nap you do complete. You go to sleep and you wake up. Start, finish. And we watched, I finished watching Reacher it's the Amazon thing. I started watching that 3 nights ago. Thursday night, Friday night. No, it wasn't Thursday night. I was on Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Tuesday I started watching again. I was just doing one episode a night, and I just finished the last 3. And I had to finish more than that. Yeah. It was doing Monday night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because that's 5. And then I just watched the last 3. Yeah. So we did that today too. And that was my 5th or 6th time through seeing it. So I don't know. It's just such a really good series. They've got the right character playing the right role and everything else. And yeah, I know there's people out there who've watched it more times than I have. But anyway, how was your Shake It Up day? What did you do different today? Tomorrow we're going to be doing grocery shopping. I have the list kind of made. Just got to go through it again and double check it. But we'll be doing grocery shopping tomorrow. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get it delivered or go to the store. Whoo, that could be a whole different thing. I could end up going to the store. Maybe. We'll see. But, I've got a little bit of cleanup to do, housekeeping I have to do. Things like bathroom, the floors. kitchen, yeah, dust, vacuum, clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, clean the floors. Just general housekeeping stuff. So maybe we'll get that done tomorrow, and I'll get somebody to do the groceries for me because I won't have to worry about either of them. I don't know. I haven't decided. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do on Monday. I've got a bunch of stuff I want to get done Monday. So, stuff I probably would have got done today had I not had Monday off. And people say, well, maybe you should have got it all done on Saturday. Then you could have 2 days off. Yeah, no, I don't work that way. It's good in theory, and it's good for those that do it. And when I do that, it works out very well. But I sometimes I'll procrastinate and leave things till the last minute. But I still get everything done and done correct. Most of the time done correctly. I'm all over the place. Some days I'll just get stuck in and just get things done. It's just like, screw it, we're just going to do it. And that's what we do. And other days it's like, and then we do the last minute rush. Maybe I'll do some genealogy tomorrow. I haven't done that for a week. And I have one of my past clients, I got a notification that there's some more articles that have appeared in the newspaper archives that are now online. So there's more newspapers have been scanned, and one of her relatives' names have come up. So now I have to go in and check those articles to see if they belong to that particular family. And if they do, then I can email them to my client to say, hey, just having a look around and look what I came across. And if it is the right one, there may even be some photos of her family as well, which she doesn't have any photos of her dad's side of the family. So that'd be pretty cool if we could find some of those for her and help fill in some of the gaps for her. So that's something that I do, is just that once I do the initial search that they've paid me to do, I just keep things on the back burner and bring them up every now and again, do a little more searching and seeing if there's anything new that's come up, because we're always adding stuff online. And now we've got the 1950 census online where you can access it. And it's actually quite interesting going and looking at that. And I need to go do some more looking, but I've already got my mother-in-law on that list with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my late brother-in-law is on the 1950 census. And because he was born in 1949, so that one I know. And I'd already taken a screenshot of that and sent it to my sister-in-law, so she had it for the family tree that she's doing. So, and she could show it to the kids. Look, here's your dad on the 1950 census, which is kind of pretty cool to see when you get there. And I remember when the 1940 census came out, and I found my mother-in-law on that, and so I printed it off for her, and I highlighted her dad, her stepmom, her, and her sister, and took it out to her and go, here, have a look at this. She goes, what's this? It's the 1940 census. And it had just come out, and she looks at it, she goes, there's my daddy. There's me. That's my sister. How did I get on this? And then she's like looking at it going, oh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's the right ages. Yes, that's where we were living at the time. And she starts going into this whole story of things. So you never know what's going to trigger somebody from a different generation into going into story time. It could be just something simple as showing their name on a census. Yeah, that's what we would. What was like, and then just starting with gentle questions. And when they turn around and go, yeah, that information is correct. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes, I was doing that, and da-da-da-da. And you go, what do you remember about that time? What do you remember about, 1940 when the census was being taken? And so she'd tell us what she could remember about that time. And that's one way that you can get an ancestor talking, or getting like a grandparent or a parent talking, is you show them their own names on a census report. Now you have to remember, these censuses are released 72 years after they are done. So the 1941s came out in 2012. This year they released the 1950 census. So we're not going to see the 1960 census until 2032. And on that one will be my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and their 3 oldest boys. Because my husband may be on that one. He may be on that one because of his birthday, because it's where you were on April 1st of that year. And he was, he would have just scraped, didn't he? He may be on that one. he very well may be on that one. So that would be really cool to see if he's on the 1960 census. But my mother-in-law she was born in 1927. So the 1930 census, she was on that as well. Did I show her that one? I think I showed her that one too. And then when the 1940 census came out, I showed her that. So she was only like 12 at the time. So it's kind of interesting. You do have people that are old enough, that are around, that are old enough to be on some of these census reports. And so you turn around and you say to them, hey, well, just start asking them questions. When they start looking at it, a lot of the times, a lot of memories will come floating back for them of their time at that time when the census was taken. And you turn around and say, well, what was, where were you living? And who was living in the house? The census says these people were in the house. Are they the ones that were in the house with you? Who were your neighbors? And, it's all written there on the census report. But, what did they remember about that time when that census was taken? What were they doing during that, in that year? Were they in school? Were they working? Were they taking care of their family? Were both of their parents still alive? Because it could be, too, that they're on the census but at a boarding school and you find the parents on a census somewhere else. I've seen that happen as well. And you see a name of a person and you go, and there's been times it's sort of like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure that this is the family that I found, that I've been looking for. I'm pretty sure this is my family, my ancestors stuff, but where's my my third-time great-grandfather? Where is he? And it could be that he was away at boarding school, which happened during those times. Kids were sent away to schools. And so finding out, was he in school or was he in in some other institution of some sort? So going through those and then finding the names in there, but then having to prove, was that the one that is in my family tree? And that's where the fun comes in. So it's then like, are the school records available that you can go in and have a look, where they have on some school records, they'll have the parents' information and all of that. So, you have to figure things out. What was times like during that time? Where could they possibly be living? If the child was away, was the child now working? And in some places, in the 1930s and the 1800s, there's the parents and one of their kids is now working up at, at some house of the upper class as, whatever they do, like a kid working in the stables or something, or they could be working as a scullery maid or, different positions like that they would use child labor for. And then it's like finding them on the census, but is that the one that fits in my tree? And that's where a lot of work comes in, trying to figure out, is this the one that's working in my tree, that belongs to my tree? Because here's the nucleus family, which I'm pretty sure is my, fourth great grandparents or whatever, with their kids, because all their names are matching up with research I've already done. But that one person that I'm looking for is missing. Where are they? And then you find them. They come up on a census report with another family and listed as a maid or a servant or whatever on that list. And you're like, well, they're the right age. They were born in the same area that my third-time great-grandparent was born or whatever. All that other information adds up, that they were born in that area. Their parents, because some of the reports will say, where were you born? Where was your mother born? Where was your father born? And you can get those things to match up. And it's sort of like, is that? But you're still sort of like, is it the right person? You want another piece of proof that shows that really was the right person. So it's very interesting, because then you got to go look in other areas and try and find other records. Maybe there's a record somewhere of the child being given up to work in other places and things. You never know what you're going to find anywhere. And sometimes it's interesting that when you come across different records and things. But anyway, I'm out of here for the night. In fact, no, I've kind of got a genealogy bug, but it's almost 10 o'clock. So I think I'm going to go and call it a night, maybe. No, I still feel thirsty. I'm going to get some more water. This is what happens when I eat too much sugar. I have to make sure I drink a lot. Problem is, I'm then up all night from drinking so much water, but it saves the sugar hangover. And so does the carb blockers too. They save the sugar hangover. Maybe I'll have some lemon water. Lemon's good for regulating blood sugars. So maybe I'll go do some lemon water. We'll see. Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling rest of your evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Serenity Sunday. It's all about rest and relaxation and rejuvenation. And my planner is already set up for next week, because I got industrious last week and did 2 weeks instead of just one. So I have that all set up, and there's lots of good stuff coming down the pipeline. So Be interesting to see what is coming down the works. But anyway, go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your evening. For me, there's not a lot left of it. And it depends where in the world you are too. Some people it's in the morning or the early afternoon. So enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for Serenity Sunday. Hey, Konara.